actually have no idea anymore. I think there might be one or two fax machines. I honestly don't remember. I am interested in faxing, to be totally honest, because we
Yep.
get requests for it from our customers so often,
Yep.
surprisingly so.
And you do because all the mom and pop shops that did all the printing and stuff like that are all gone,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So this is the ScanEZ, right? So I'm going to do a really quick overview. A lot of people are using this as their copier. I sold copiers for 20 years, love them, but they don't work real well in a public setting. So quickly, right? You can connect this to a printer. This can go back to our tower and share a printer, and they can release jobs and pay for them there. Okay. This is an 11 by 17 book edge scanner, right? Best thing about it, I have an old yellowed image. Unlike a copier, I can put this anywhere I want on the glass, and it will scan it and print it correctly.
Wow.
I fixed problem number one. Where do I put it? Number two, this high-speed dual-sided scanner, 140 images per minute. I'm going to take my plastic library card and scan it through it, and it's going to put both sides on one piece of paper.
Okay.
Okay, which is a big deal for libraries. Okay, so a couple things that we've done here. This does multiple pages, two-sided. Here's the idea, right? This looks like a giant cell phone. That's the idea behind this. See the size I compare to my hand. We brand it with your logo on top. Accessibility is built in. So I've got a narrator, I have a magnifier, and I have high contrast, all things I'm not getting with a copier. Everything is back or next. I also have 25 different languages that I can put instructions in. So if I only speak Vietnamese, as I go through, all my instructions are now in Vietnamese.
That's great.
Okay. What's great is everything is back or next. So if I get lost, I just go back. So touch here to copy, scan, or fax, touch here to scan or fax. I can walk up with a USB, plug it in, or potentially log into my cloud account and then pull things off and print them. Okay. I can select either scanner, so I'll start with that scanner. Here's all the different functionality this offers. Scan to USB, scan to email, scan to Google Drive, OneDrive, scan to fax, translation service to text and audio using Microsoft Azure. I have 90 different languages via text I can translate documents to, and 50 in audio. They get an MP3 file. Okay? Scan a smartphone, Vivid Pick. So if I do scan to copy, if this becomes my copier and I connect it to a printer, here's what's great. Remember that was crooked on the glass, and I'm talking really fast to get through this. Okay? So remember, it was yellowed and it was crooked on the glass, and it is fixed.
Wow.
So here's my favorite part about it. Unlike the copier, I can actually enlighten this, darken this, and I get to preview it before I print it and pay for it. I can also do things I cannot do with the copier, like edit it. And I can touch crop because this is the crossword puzzle or the part of the article I want. And now here's my favorite. Again, after selling these for 20 years, here's the size of the article, right? I can show you that, okay? And it shows you how big the piece of paper is, and all your patrons have to do is this or go fit the page.
That's great.
And it makes it as big as it can to fit on that piece of paper, and they haven't paid for anything yet, and its staff doesn't have to get the bypass key or can you help me, can you fix this? Okay.
Very cool.
So this is a great feature for that. I'm also going to show you under scan to copy, we're going to use the other scanner. We created a button here called ID scan. So I touch ID scan, all the other buttons disappear, and I'm going to tell it to scan both sides. Here's my plastic library card. I put it in. I tell it to scan both sides. And I know your copy won't run that. And I just put both sides on one piece of paper. And here's my favorite part. Now I want it in color. And I'm just going to go to reduce and enlarge and tell it to fit the page, and now I can print that ID full size.
Wow. That's great.
You can connect this to a printer, right? You can send these jobs back so the staff has to release them. Whatever you want to do, right, you can do. So I can do USB and email. Now with these two, just a couple of quick highlights. I can scan to searchable PDF in 192 different languages, and I can scan to Word. They bring in their resumes or hard copy only. They can scan it, and now they can edit it.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's different than like 10 years ago when I was a library assistant doing scanning for customers. This is a game changer.
I can log into any one of my drives, right? I can log into any one of my drives and do that. I can do scan a smartphone, which gives me a QR code. So I'll do this for you. And this is the other thing I love about this. I'm going to put one. So one side is Spanish, one side is English. This is a translation service. I'm going to turn this page upside down so that they're in the wrong orientation, right? And I'm going to say, go ahead and scan this to smartphone. Next, right? Let's do color. Next. Okay, we're going to delete those. Okay, and I'm going to scan both sides. Again, up to 100 images or 100 sheets in here at a time, but you can do more than that if you keep loading it. And it scans 140 images per minute, two-sided. But you see how all these are in the right orientation now. And if I don't want a page, I can delete it. If they're in the wrong order, I click Arrange Pages, and I just drag and drop them. Okay.
So, Mickey,
I can go to Next.
Is the system kind of reliant on those two pieces of hardware, those two scanners on your table there?
So let's talk about that. So here's a new security for this. And if you guys have your cell phone out with your QR reader, I can say no to this, but I'll do 1, 2, 3. I'm going to use a PIN number next. And if you want to take a picture of this QR code, you're going to be able to download this. It's going to ask you if you want to delete it from the cloud immediately, which is great for your security. And I'll put in the code 1, 2, 3, and that document will be on your phone in seconds. So you have options. We have some of our libraries that go, and I like these libraries, by the way, that go, every library gets the same thing. So that means you're buying a lot of stuff from me. I have other libraries, like there's one in Florida that has 13 locations. 7 of the locations are large, high volume. They bought this whole system. They have 6 locations that are small, and they want small, and they bought these 2 pieces only, and it saved them money. The challenge is that this, you can't put anything on the glass here, right? But they're like, we're not doing a lot of books and things. So if they want to go scan a book, just like you have it listed on your website now, you could list it.
Yeah.
Right? Very cool.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked reading your website today, because I learned from that. So if you scan that, it would be on your phone in seconds. It would ask you for the code. Once I say scan more or I say I'm done, everything's gone. There's nothing in permanent memory here.
Nice. Okay.
Gone. Okay. Faxing is a HIPAA-compliant fax solution that goes over the internet. Now, it is important to know that we do charge you for faxing, right? And you would charge the patron whatever you want or do it for free and absorb that cost. I can do a cover page, right? I can do, let's go back. Sorry.
Right. When you say we charge for faxing, what do you mean by that?
So they charge us for
So there is a fee to use the fax service that we pass on to you.
Oh.
And we charge 12 cents a page for US and Canada and 80 cents a page for international. You can turn international off if you want. And then you could charge a patron whatever you want, or you can do it for free. That's up to you.
So does that mean that we don't have to get phone lines?
No phone lines required.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool.
And then you could do things like add a credit card reader to this, and they can pay for faxing with credit card right here. Now it's total self-serve.
Wow.
Yeah. So now I'm going to go here. Okay. Oops. And it's going to go ahead and tell me email, so I can add my email. I'm never going to remember. Was it EMAT at
TH.
TH?
Nope.
Oh, I was close.
You're close. You want to get rid of the at symbol.
Did I have it right or I got it wrong?
You got it wrong. You don't want to remove the at symbol. So it's E Matthews.
Yep.
So no at. Yep. Get rid of the extra. There you go. And then you got that right. And then at VIRL.
Yeah, virl.bc.ca.
And you could see how nice this touchscreen is, right? The size of it, or you can add a keyboard to it. Okay. Yeah. And I would click Pay Now, right? So I can pay that at the credit card reader, which I have turned off, 630-537-1369, right? And it's sending that fax as a HIPAA-compliant fax solution over the internet, right? And I'm done. Okay.
Okay.
Now you should get an email of that. Now, because it had the payment on, you may not. Oh, I could turn the payment off. I'll do it for you another time. But the other 2 things we have here, because I know I'm going to run out of time, I think if this would help you, we have translation service to text and audio. By the way, there's 2 forms of Klingon here. I didn't even know there were, that you can do it. We're using Microsoft Azure for this, 90 different languages that I can translate it to. I can also do it to audio. Now, this does cost extra, but it's $240 a year, US dollars, which means a little bit more in Canadian dollars, right? And it doesn't matter how many scan stations you have. Here's all the different audio languages that I can scan that to. So I can take a document in any language, scan it in, and get an MP3 file and listen to it if I'm visually impaired.
Yeah.
So we're really proud of that for inclusivity. You see it in all of our other products. The last piece that I'll show you just quickly, because I know we're just about out of time, is called Vivid Pics, because I did see on your website that genealogy is important to you. I have an old photograph. It's yellow. It's distorted, right? So I'm going to go here, next, and I'm going to tell it photo. Okay, and we'll just do it to USB, next. Okay, let's delete those. Tell this to scan the front side. Come on, scanner. Okay, now I'm going to take this photograph that has been faded, whatever else it is. I can rotate this, but I leave this vertical so you can see more of it. So I'll just rotate it because people are used to looking at it rotated. Okay, the idea is this. We found two gentlemen who had retired from Kodak. They wrote software that is like Photoshop on the fly. It changes the sharpness, vividness, and contrast in one step. So I picked the one I want. There's the original on the left, and look at how I've just restored that photograph to look like new.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that is charged per scan station.
Okay.
Roughly $250 per Canadian dollar for year one, and like $80 a year after that to keep the license.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. So that is the ScanEZ. It can be just a scanner. It can be a scanner, copy, or fax. It can do all these things. And there's a lot of functionality to it that I didn't get a chance really to cover, but I gave you a nice overview. This is an unbelievable tool. You can talk to any of our libraries. They've stopped buying copiers and they use this.
Okay.
Because of how large the touchscreen is, accessibility, inclusivity, fixing that you preview it before you pay for it. You can incorporate it into print management or add its own coin and bill tower, whatever you want to do. What do you think?
Thank you, Mickey. That's very interesting. I've never seen anything like it, so I appreciate it.